Hey, Jacob.
Hey, Matt.
What are we driving today?
Oh, it's the new Mazda CX-90.
Oh, you mean the car that looks very similar to their Mazda CX-60 we recently reviewed. It's also Mazda's most expensive model. It's also Mazda's highest output model. And it's also Mazda's most luxurious model.
I think you need to take a breath.
You do get some of my favorite new powertrains, an inline 6-cylinder, turbo petrol or turbo diesel. These things are pretty damn fast, and they're very different to Mazdas of old because they're primo.
They're full-on primo powertrains.
Yeah, like they keep referencing like BMWs and stuff that this thing goes up against, but it is significantly cheaper than that, but you know, still pretty not cheap. So this thing here starts at 75,000 Australian dollars, goes all the way up to $100,000 with optional packs. This is going to be a bit of a hodgepodge of different things because I want to show you a lot in today's review. We're going to show you everything. We're going to start this review by taking an exterior tour of the GT spec. It's mid-range with the inline 6-cylinder petrol engine. So this is going to be the volume seller. I'm going to show you everything on the exterior. We're then going to move on to the interior of my probably favorite, Jacob,
the Azami Takumi.
I was about to say Takumi. I always get this wrong. It's the Azami SP.
Ah, true, actually. Yeah, we've already looked at the Takumi and the CX-60.
We have, so if you want to learn more about that interior later, you'll see what I mean. And that includes checking out the third row, because that's what this thing adds. We're then going to performance test it, see just how quick these things are from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, using our very specialist, way overpriced timing gear. Uses lots of satellite. I'll get into that later as well. And then we're going to drive these things and see, are they worth 100 grand at the top end? Jacob?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Alrighty, let's talk about the exterior of the CX-90. First of all, this one's in Artisan Red, which is their new flagship color, and I must admit, it looks pretty cool.
It's really nice, and I love how it changes depending on the lighting.
Yeah, it's actually, it's very elegant, I would say, and that's kind of the theme of the CX-90. Although one of the biggest complaints you guys had in our CX-60 review was that this thing looks, well, they look the same. And
yeah.
I can't lie to you, they really do. It's quite hard to tell. If you put them side by side, then yes, they've got like the size differences, but even then it's actually quite hard to tell, so.
You know what? Mazda are giving choice to the consumer.
Jacob's read the slides. You've got these really cool LED lights, actually. I like them a lot. They're really bright LEDs too. You've also got a pulsating indicator there. That's also your daytime running light. The grille is a nice big grille, just how people seem to love it these days. You've got the Mazda badge there. Heaps of chrome, Jacob.
You know, it wouldn't be a luxury SUV without chrome.
Chrome is a moniker. I don't even know what that means. Chrome is expensive, look. Probably gonna need to go back to English school. Down the bottom, it's actually pretty cool. You've got some opening and closing vents for aero, because this thing, it actually has quite a lot of efficiency gains, even over a CX-9, despite having much more power, despite having a much bigger engine, it's actually quite a lot more fuel efficient than a Mazda CX-9, which, by the way,
bye-bye,
is dead.
Rest in peace.
Up there, you've also got some cameras. This thing is extremely safe. Like you would expect, really. But yeah, it's extremely safe, and it will drive itself down a highway because this Mazda badge is also a radar, has sonar, cruise control. It's crazy.
It'll even detect if a pedestrian is crossing the road and you're turning right or left, and it'll brake.
The other thing as well is you've got some more aero on the side to help streamline air across the very blobby side, because Kodo design language means that this thing, it's like a big blob. Jacob, let's check out the side. Now, on every grade except for the Azami, which is top of the range, you get this black scratchy plastic. If you care about that, otherwise it's body colored, I don't know. On the GT, you do get these 21-inch wheels though. They're massive, they're really cool. You can get diamond cut wheels, Jacob, if you go for the Azami, but it's not really gonna make a difference. We'll see how that impacts ride quality though, because these are big wheels, my friend.
They're big boys.
And you still got a decent amount of tire tread, I suppose. Inline 6 badge there to let everyone know that, you know what, you've moved up in the world.
You've gotten a better job.
You got a better job. Maybe you're doing pretty well.
Maybe a few more kids.
Or maybe the kids are gone. Anyway, a little camera under here for your 360 camera. It's a pretty good camera, actually. Down the bottom, you get some more chrome garnishing. You've also got, keyless entry and go. Of course, it's a premium car, Jacob. If it didn't have it, I'd sue them. I'd sue Mazda. I would.
We'd be in a lawsuit right now.
We'd be in a lawsuit. You've got no privacy glass, which is very weird on a premium car, no matter what. At this price point, I would definitely expect it. But you do get some roof rails, I suppose. And otherwise, as I said, guys, it's a huge blob. That's Kodo design language. No sharp edges. It's just blobby.
And I think from the side is where you see the difference between the CX-9 the most, because it's got like no front overhang and a massive rear overhang.
Yes, this thing is actually bigger than a CX-9, which is almost hard to believe, but it is. And you also get more window as well, so it's nicer on the interior as you would expect for the higher price point as well. Jacob, shall we check out the bum?
Let's do it.
Okay, and then coming to the bum, and I'll be honest with you guys, even though I really like the overall design, I do think it looks almost identical to a CX-60.
That is true. Yeah, it is a little higher, a little wider, but yeah, the design is the same.
I'm curious for you guys down in the comment section, let me know, do you like this strategy of making these cars, all Mazdas really look very similar? So you got that, I guess, universal brand perception, or do you wish that they were a little bit different? Maybe that's just me. You do get these really cool tail lights though. I like their 3D effect. CX-90 all-wheel drive badge, I guess that's the differentiator. eSkyactiv G, that is in reference to its inline 6-cylinder petrol with mild hybrid. And I really like the color, man.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's like purple now.
I know, it's completely changed from the front.
So different, very, very cool. Although I wouldn't want to get into an accident because I feel like fixing that, very deep paint,
an artisan.
would quite literally require an artisan. Jacob, let's move into the boujie interior. Alrighty, friend, coming into the interior now of the CX-90, and I've got one word for you.
Luxury.
I was going to say posh, but I guess they're synonymous. Look, it better be posh, because here in the Azami, let alone this option package, which we'll come back to, it's already 20 grand more than a top-of-the-range CX-9 Azami. So, you know, it better be nice inside, and I'm happy to report it is. Now, is it $25,000 nicer with this SP package? I'll leave that up to you guys, but frankly, I genuinely believe so.
It is amazing.
It's next level. It's almost like you can't compare this to another Mazda. I mean, obviously we have the SP package here, so keeping that in mind, you get this amazing suede. It's like the most real suede I've ever bloody felt. You have Napa leather seats that feel really, really comfy, extremely supportive. Same with this beautiful two-tone leather steering wheel. The whole tanness of this interior, it tickles me in all the right places, Jason.
It's pretty tanned.
It's gone, let's just say it's gone to the beach. And it's clearly got good genetics.
It's been to Mykonos over the summer.
Like all of your friends posting on Instagram. We know it, it's happened to us.
We hate them too.
We hate them too. The other thing, Jacob, you'll notice is, do I look like I'm sitting in my ideal seating position?
You kind of do.
Oh, well, that's because there's a driver personalization system. It's actually the same system as a CX-60, and it promises to get you in the perfect position. A lot of P's there, Jacob. You've got a couple of sensors up here. I think at least one of them looks at you because you put in your height, it scans your eyeballs, it remembers who you are, you put in your name. For the purpose of demonstration here, we're going with Daddy's Girl. And then every time you get in the car, it scans your face, it knows exactly who you are and where you should be sitting, and it moves everything how it needs to be because, of course, ooh, how luxo is that? Technology in here is mostly really good. So you have this huge infotainment display. It is very, very responsive. You can have your own navigation here, of course, and again, very responsive. You've also got Apple CarPlay. When you're completely parked and your parking brake is up, you can use it as a touch screen. But annoyingly, you try and go back to the home screen and no longer can you use it as a touch screen because that's not safe, apparently. Don't tell me what to do.
Bloody Mazda.
Matsuda. Don't tell me what to do. But thankfully, this whole control cockpit down here, that's the last time you hear me saying that word, Jacob, it works pretty well. Like, you get used to it. It takes like a few minutes and you just, it takes a few minutes and you just like, you know.
I'll be honest, I actually prefer it now. No, okay, I'm joking. I don't prefer it to a touchscreen, but I really like it. It works well. It
works well, I'll give it that. Just like this air conditioning control setup here, it just works bloody well. And of course, being the GTSP, you get cooled seats, and a heated steering wheel as well. Up in front of you is a digital instrument cluster. It is massive, it is bright, really color accurate. You can't see very much on it though, which is a little bit confusing. Just put a big map in front of me, Mazda, and I'm happy. That's a glowing review, done. Primo, buy the car. Doesn't have it though.
I think Mazda love their classical gauge clusters, you know?
Does have little cool animations when you change in the drive modes though. I like off-road, very knobby.
Look, it's not an Amarok.
It's no Amarok. Should go without mention, but you get soft touch materials everywhere. Storage in here is okay. For such a large SUV, I probably would have hoped it would be a bit better. So you get a pretty massive glove box, of course, felt lined. You have a wireless charger here, which is fantastic, 12-volt socket. You've got, hidden area with a couple of cup holders. By the way, this material here is like a metal. But
it's a wood grain metal.
Yeah, it's a little strange. I wouldn't know what to call it, but you call it whatever you want in the comment section just below that like button. By the way, Jacob, you know what we haven't said for a while?
I think they should do something.
Yeah, please subscribe.
Just do it.
What's holding you back? Think about that.
Internal sadness.
Oh, you have your My Drive controller here. That just changes your drive modes. We'll come back to that when we drive this. You've got your shifter here. It's not my favorite shifter, but hey, it shifts the car, so I guess it does its job. You've got soft touch materials there. Oh, got a couple of USB-C ports in there, very modern, I like that. Not much storage though, it's actually very shallow. Door bins aren't the greatest, they're an okay size. You've also got the world's smallest little storage area next to your little leg there. Also, oh, that's really nice. By the way, another way that you can tell that this thing is primo, pull down the window, you'll actually see it's double glazed.
Just like you like your donuts.
Jacob's really on the fat shaming train. You're very Lizzo-esque,
I'm gonna get
Jacob.
cancelled like Lizzo.
Very Lizzo-esque. Jacob, let's check out the back seats.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, Jacob, let's chat about one of the things I love. I just love about this car.
You love captain's chairs, don't you?
I feel like a captain. Look at me, I'm the captain. That's how I feel back here. So, you can only get the captain's chairs with the Takumi pack or the SP pack. So that's gonna be $5,000. If you don't have $5,000, go away.
We don't want you here on this channel.
We don't need you here.
Get your broke ass out of here.
No, look, honestly, 3 seats in the back is probably, it's always going to be more practical, but this is supremely nice. So we're going to talk about it. By the way, if you want to see more about the there's some ducks over there. I'll film it.
Bro, you have ADHD.
That was a very quick, that's Jacob. Oh, hang on, let me start a new recording. Oh, look at the ducks. I wonder if they've ever made love.
Bro, who gives a shit?
No, I want little ducklings. Anyway, so I'm 5'11". Look how much space I have behind my driver personalization spot. I've got heaps of toe room, heaps of headroom. Well, how does that fare for the third row? Not great, we'll come back to that. So back here, you get a couple of cup holders. You've also got, a nice little center armrest with actually heaps of storage, way more than up front. You've also got cooled seats, heated seats back here. You've got your third zone of climate control, a couple of USB-C ports and some air vents. You've also got some of the weirdly nicest feeling like matte pockets I've ever felt.
It makes you really want to just keep your hands in there.
Yeah, I'm going the whole way home like this. Oh, I found something. I found the key. They hid the key from, no joke. They were hiding the key so people don't steal them by accident. Guess what? I found your hidey hole. I'm so proud of myself. You've also got these. These aren't child-proof, but they're mat-proof. These are your sunshades. They do cover up, so the sun doesn't perv on your kids, as they say. Quality back here is just as nice as up front. And one of the things you notice when you're driving this thing, or at least sitting in the captain's chairs, is that it's nice and quiet in here. It's nice and quiet.
It's really nice and quiet. You know what you're forgetting?
What am I forgetting?
Why are you whispering?
Because it's nice and quiet.
The panoramic sunroof.
Let's talk about the back seats. I'm not going to go and attempt to get into them because, frankly, I've already have. And I've got B-roll of it, and I don't need to do it twice because I'm my own man.
Yeah, you now have no feet.
Let me tell you something, okay? It's very easy to get into the third row, but I am a little bit disappointed with the space. So you don't get much leg room. In fact, you can slide this little seat forward here and that'll get you a lot more, but then, the backseat passengers are a little bit compromised. The worst part is actually the floor because it's actually quite high in the back and the seats are quite low, so your feet are really jammed under the seat. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit claustrophobic even just sitting back there. I could not do a longer journey, but your kids will be fine. You've also got heaps of headroom back there too. So yes, in a pinch, you could definitely get 6 adults in here, but it'll be a pinch. And
at least you got a USB-C port and a couple of cup holders.
Oh, you get 2 USB-C ports, one on each side.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, and air vents. You get air vents.
Yeah.
So it's well equipped and the seats are nice, but I wouldn't want to be sitting back there. And then coming to practicality, powered tailgate, nothing less for a little boy like me, Jacob. You actually get a heap of space back here. I'm so impressed with all 3 rows up. You've also got a tiny bit of underfloor storage. It's not the best, but still, with all 3 rows up, it's really impressive. Very easy to drop the back seats. Boom, chugga boom. then you get actually loads of room. The floor is quite high, but you do get a flat load area. And then you can push, of course, the captain's chairs forward. There's, you know, cooling elements and things underneath it, so you can't drop them completely, but it's still a very practical space. You do also get a 150 watt household socket, which is good. It means it's got an inverter in it. And you've also got a 12 volt socket there too. So heaps of connectivity, even in the boot.
I'm actually really impressed with the boot space of this car. It just makes you wonder, like, would you have rather have the third row a little bit further back and sacrifice a bit of boot space, but get any foot room?
I think I would.
Yeah.
But you know what I won't sacrifice? My love for inline sixes. Jacob, let's drive this.
Let's do it.
Alrighty, friend, it's time to launch the diesel.
The D50E.
D-E. Say it with me.
D50E.
What do we get in the CX-60?
7.43 seconds.
Yes.
And because this is the exact same car,
In setup,
in
powertrain setup.
every single way, apart from size, I think it's going to get like 7.48.
I think it's going to be 7.6 because it's a heavier boy.
You have
Let's
a right
do
to your
this.
opinion.
We have our specialist timing gear here. We have satellites connected to it a lot, and it tells us exactly how fast we're going. So we're going to be objective about this, Jacob.
Yeah, we used to use our finger and the wind.
Oh. All right, bro, fist me. Let's go.
Let's do it. Oh, okay.
Oh, a little bit of a shove.
Come on.
Good 0 to 60 kilometer per hour. So I was closer.
You were actually right.
But in a worse way.
Yeah.
0 to 100 in 8.05 seconds.
About half a second slower than the CX-60.
All right, friend, now it's time to launch the G50E petrol. Battery running low. Let's do this very quickly. We're going to do the same thing, sport mode. Oh, long animation.
We're going to
Hurry
brake
up.
first launch it?
No, you're going to fist me.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, that feels a lot quicker off the line. Whoa. Okay. Whoa.
I want to say, didn't love the random hesitation in the torque converter-less automatic transmission.
We have been having a few stutters with the transmission.
It's been a little bit weird. However, it is also amazing that we got almost at the same time 0 to 100 at 7.04 seconds as the CX-60.
That's the same, yeah, basically the exact same as the CX-60.
So even though I'm like, what was that? I'm also like,
do more.
the performance is pretty similar. All right, let's drive the diesel though. Now, as you guys may have noticed, we're no longer in a brown interior car, we're in a white interior car, and that's because we are in the Azami Takumi.
Ooh, you got it this time.
I got it this time.
He's been practicing in front of the mirror, guys.
I've been practicing. That means we get this beautiful kakanui stitching here. I wouldn't want to break one, you know, pulling one out. And then what? What do you do then?
I think they're protected by warranty.
Well, not if you pull it. Alrighty, friend. Driving the GD50E.
This is the D50E.
That's the one I meant. It's the diesel. It's the inline six-cylinder. Let's go through its stats, like a Pokemon card. It's got a 3.3 litre inline six turbocharged diesel engine. Oh, puts out 187 kilowatt of power, 550 newton meters of torque through an 8-speed torque converter less transmission.
What does that even mean? I don't know.
Oh, it's coasting. We were just coasting. Okay, wait, dropping.
Whoa.
Oh, Daddy loves his little inline sixes.
Oh, this is nice.
Oh, a little bit of body roll there. The first thing I noticed, right, one is the sound. Oh, the sound is really nice.
The second thing you notice is the body roll.
The second thing I noticed is the body roll.
Oh my God.
It is quite a lot more pronounced than in the CX-60 from my memory, if my memory serves me well. To be fair, I have a failing memory. Some would say
He's turning senile.
a demented memory. But you put the car into its little sport mode. Oh, you put your foot down.
Ooh.
Nothing really changes.
It's quite a good transmission, I must say.
The transmission, I would say, is 98% great. Really good.
Agreed.
There are a couple times where, for example, you know, you're at a stop, you let your foot off, you're on a bit of an incline, and it starts to roll. Don't love that. The other thing is that sometimes it'll just do a really hard shift for no real reason. However, when you are in sport mode, for example, you really put your foot down, it's actually quite responsive and it will give a bit of a kick on upshift. little gentle, you know.
Dude, this thing
finger
is
in the back.
fast.
I completely forgot my foot was flat on the accelerator there. Yeah, you do pick up speed. The other thing that people seem to be complaining about with the CX-60, but we didn't notice it, was the comfort. I think this is pretty comfy.
It's identical to the CX-60, I have to say.
Doesn't feel very different.
No.
Except for that body roll. It's definitely more pronounced.
And I guess that's just due to the, more mass. Like, it's just a bigger car.
Can I say, fuel economy, unreal. 6.7 litres per 100 kilometres, and that includes the few time.
Oh.
It's at full brightness, apparently. That includes the, putting the foot down. Like, the diesel is magnificently fuel economical.
Essentially, it's more economic and faster than a CX-9.
And when you put it back to which way is normal? Oh, we were in normal. It just the animations take like 30 seconds. What's that? Anyway, you can kind of coast, and what it will do is it will literally turn off the engine and just provide a little bit of power from that mild hybrid system, which is sandwiched between the engine and the transmission, to just give you little bursts of power just when you need it. Well, it's not like an amazing hybrid system in any way, but it does a pretty amazing job. It feels good. Steering, by the way, it's very direct, but it's not too heavy. Big Goldilocks.
There's no adaptive dampers, so
that seems like a miss.
Yeah.
Seems like a bit of a miss.
Yeah.
They did say that they tested it and they were very happy with the performance of the single fixed dampers, but like, there's something to be said about having adaptive dampers.
Yeah.
Especially
it's something you'll see on a BMW for sure.
Correct. And that would eliminate a lot of that body roll that we had seen earlier to make it a bit stiffer. Let me give it a bit more sauce before we move to the petrol.
Let's do it.
Well, downshift. Oh shit. Hang on. Sorry. Ah! Put the car into...
That was a new sound.
That was it saying, drive like a normal person.
It is in sport mode now. Ooh, the uphill sauce. Oh, it's so smooth, man.
It's so nice. It sounds so good too. It sounds so good, guys. All right, let's drive the petrol.
Let's do it.
All right, bro, driving the petrol, the Inline 6 petrol. Do you mind if I put it in sport mode?
Go ahead, mate.
Do you mind if I give it some sauce?
That's what it's designed to do.
Oh.
Bro, instantly, that sounds so much better.
Oh, it sounds so good. And why is it so fast? Man, this thing is quick. This thing is quick.
I think once you're moving, it feels very similar to the diesel, but off the line, it's much faster.
Yeah, you put your foot down, and the sound is just, I could give it a little kiss on the lips.
Magnificento.
Oh, unreal. I will say, a bit weird that this car isn't launching with the plug-in hybrid that the CX-60 did. So, I don't know, the US gets it.
Yeah.
Why don't we get it?
What's with the delay, Mazda?
Not that even though that was, to be fair, probably my least favorite powertrain in the CX-60. But anyway, let's talk about the inline 6-cylinder.
Do you feel the Jinbai Itai?
I don't know what that means.
It means horse and rider in unison.
Do I feel the Jinbai Itai? A little bit, actually. Let me tell you why, Jacob.
Why?
There is a difference in how this thing drives compared to the diesel, not just with the engine, because it's also got a better weight distribution. It's actually closer to 50-50 weight distribution in this car. Even though it still has the same rear-wheel drive, biased all-wheel drive system, it just, I don't know, but it just handles a bit better.
It definitely does.
Definitely has just as much body roll, though. You turn a corner, and the body rolls.
It does roll, but it handles a lot better than the diesel.
It does. It's noticeable.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the power outputs though. As I said, 3.3 litre turbocharged inline 6 petrol. Literally the same thing, but in petrol version. 254 kilowatt of power, 500 newton meters of torque.
Dude, those are good outputs.
Unreal. And you feel it. It's just like, this engine is amazing. And last time when we drove the CX-60, I said, and I think you agreed with me, the petrol is a better driving car. It is a better driver's car, but the fuel economy, you can see it here, 9.8 litres per 100 kilometres, is significantly worse.
50% worse than the diesel.
But I just feel with the petrol here in the CX-90, it just feels, for me, significantly better than the diesel. I don't know why. Maybe it's a tuning thing.
The gap is bigger.
There's a bigger gap. And so that would pull me over the edge to go and buy one of these,
Man, this is great. This performs genuinely like a car that's actually a lot more expensive.
Yes. And the sound, it's just like, I know the diesel sounds amazing, but this is just like unreal.
Oh.
Also, friend, the self-driving systems in these cars are pretty phenomenal. As we said earlier, this thing is very safe, as you would expect for any brand new car, but we almost take it for granted now. But if we press this steering wheel button, you'll see a little icon comes up there. We'll set the cruise control. You'll see it goes green, and this thing will essentially drive itself. Like, I'm not touching the steering wheel and it's
a very
turning.
impressive system.
Don't do that. You need to have your hands on the steering wheel, and it will warn me in a moment that my hands aren't on the steering wheel.
Oh, there's a little icon that's popped up.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Oh,
Hold the steering wheel.
It's going to yell at you in a second.
I hope so, because this is giving me a lot of leniency. Oh,
There you go.
there.
It sounds like if you've ever been to Macca's, you'll know that sound.
If you've ever worked at Macca's, Jacob is an ex-employee.
I am, yeah. Matt poached me.
Also, friend, just like the diesel, this thing does have the mild hybrid system, the 48 volt. Listen to this.
You can kind of hear it a little bit.
You can.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It starts to whine.
Yeah, yeah,
It's really
yeah.
cool. It's like a turbocharger almost. because
Supercharger.
It has, what do they call it? Like mild hybrid boost or something? I don't know. But whatever it is, just like the diesel, because it's sandwiched between the engine and transmission, it's got a little motor that provides like a bit of fill-in torque.
Extends a hand. It's like, come hither. Oh,
Anyway,
it's nice.
it's cool.
It's very cool.
Alrighty, Jacob. So, final thoughts on the Mazda CX-90. Do you mind if I give them to you?
Give it to me straight.
Listen, I really like this thing overall. It's got an amazing powertrain. The fact it's rear-wheel drive biased, all-wheel drive, great fuel economy, inline 6-cylinder. The other thing I really like is actually the design. Even though, yes, it looks pretty much identical to a CX-60, it still looks really, really nice. Doesn't matter what paint job you get, it still looks amazing. The interior is a really nice place to spend time. They've nailed the seats, they've nailed the interior experience. And then when you consider the fact that this thing comes in at pretty much half the price of like an equivalent BMW X7, it's hard to fault this thing, man.
Look, I think it's probably one of the best driving Mazdas, and it's got one of the nicest interiors of any Mazda I've been in. But it's not super different from the CX-60.
Is that a deal breaker? You can let us know in the comment section.